First at 4, is the UAW moving closer to a deal with one of Detroit's 3 automakers? What we know right now, and a new plea from Governor Whitmer. Also breaking news from Capitol Hill, there is a new House Speaker, what we know about him, and the next big challenge for Congress. Kim.
Well, we do have a few scattered showers out there right now, but also some dry areas. We'll talk about tomorrow getting back into the 70s and another chance for rain.
Local school is up for a very prestigious prize. How about this? First prize, $1 million.
It's really big because I feel like there aren't a lot of schools like us.
I'll tell you who, what, when, where, and how.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. That breaking news involved a flurry of activity between the UAW and one of Detroit's big 3 auto companies. Sources telling us this afternoon the union is edging toward a tentative contract agreement with Ford that would be critical to ending the union's 6-week-old strike. Now, the union is pushing hard for a 25% general wage increase over the life of a new 4-year contract. Previously, the big 3 had all offered 23% pay increases. The progress in negotiations come after the union this week walked out at 3 factories that produce popular pickup trucks and SUVs, adding them to the list of plants already on strike. Today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is pressing both sides to get the strike resolved.
I'm hoping that they can get this resolved soon. I really believe that it is time for all of them to be locked in a room and not to come out until the deal is done.
Now, it's still possible negotiations could unravel, but if the UAW can reach an agreement with Ford, that deal would then historically be used as a model to seek similar settlements with GM and Stellantis. Rob Maloney is talking with insiders right now, and we'll have a live update on Local 4 News at 5. We also have breaking news from Capitol Hill. House Republicans have finally come together to choose a new House Speaker. It's been 22 days since a small group of Republicans took the gavel away from Kevin McCarthy. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill. She joins us now to talk about the vote that just finished before 2 o'clock this afternoon.
You're right. Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. It's been a busy 24 hours because at this time yesterday, Congressman Tom Emmer was the GOP candidate to be the next speaker. He dropped out less than an hour later, throwing everything up in the air once again. So by this morning, Mike Johnson of Louisiana became the party's choice as it searched for a way to end more than 3 weeks of gridlock on Capitol Hill. He was the 4th nominee and became the first to rally the entire party behind him. He also got the endorsement of former President Donald Trump. In the end, all the House Republicans supported Johnson, giving him the speakership along party lines by a vote of 220 to 209 on the first ballot. Democrats were unified in their support for their leader, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. The new speaker addressed Congress just a short time ago. Listen.
I want to say to the American people, on behalf of all of us here, we hear you. We know the challenges you're facing. We are ready to get to work again to solve those problems, and we will. Our mission here is to serve you well, to restore the people's faith in this House, in this great and essential institution.
All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Johnson. He isn't very well known nationally. He's been a vocal supporter of former President Donald Trump. Johnson was a key congressional figure in the failed efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The Louisiana Republican was first elected to Congress back in 2016. Just 7 years later, he's second in line for the White House. So Johnson says one of his first priorities will be to get more funding to Israel, but his support for sending more money to Ukraine seems to have waned a bit. So that could set him on a potential collision course with the White House, which wants funding, of course, for both wars.
Right.
So,
and then we're also talking about another big challenge for Congress, and that's coming up quickly as well.
Exactly. You're talking about the funding for the government. It's set to run out November 17th, and that's about 3 weeks away? So we just avoided a government shutdown a few weeks ago. Johnson will have to hit the ground running on several big issues, including this one.
I know you'll stay on top of it. We'll check back at 5.
Indeed.
All right. Thanks so much. Here at home, a heartbreaking case of child abuse and murder. 2 people are charged in the death of a 7-year-old. Avion Traylor and Alicia Holloman are both facing charges, including felony murder in the death of her son. This morning, prosecutors described horrible injuries to the child, including internal bleeding and a pelvis that was broken in 2. Prosecutors pushed to keep the couple behind bars, arguing they are a threat to the public.
There really are no sufficient words to describe how brutalized Deshaun Williams was. Based on the facts and evidence that we have so far, Deshaun lived a nightmare.
Now, defense attorneys argued both suspects are innocent until proven guilty. The child's mother has no previous criminal record, but the judge denied bond for both. They will be back in court next month. From Macomb County, we have the story of a teenager accused of robbing delivery drivers working for marijuana dispensaries. The 15-year-old is from Clinton Township. Prosecutors have charged the teen in 3 different robberies in the month of October. The charges include armed robbery and felony firearm. Teen is being held on a total of $300,000 cash bond and will undergo a mental health evaluation. Okay, let's turn our attention to your first forecast. Some of you could be dealing with a little bit of rain tonight. Let's check in with forewarned meteorologist Kim Adams.
Well, Karen, we do have a few showers, but scattered. So right now it's dry in downtown Detroit, but you go just a bit to the north and it's raining in parts of Macomb and over into Oakland County, also Livingston County, getting a few showers. The majority of the moisture stays up around I-69 and north. Temperatures are a little cooler than yesterday, but still technically above normal for this time of year. It is 62 in Mount Clemens, 61 in Port Huron, low 60s in Sandusky, 66 at Metro, and 65 in Ann Arbor. It is right now 13 degrees cooler in Pontiac than it was yesterday at this same time, 15 degrees cooler in Howell and 11 degrees cooler out at the airport. But we do warm up again tomorrow, but we still have a few scattered showers to get through. So as we head into the day tomorrow, we'll still keep it mostly cloudy, but drying out in the afternoon with a high back to 72. I'll talk about the rain possible for the weekend coming up.
All right, thank you, Kim. Is life-altering money? I think we can all agree that $1 million can really be a game changer, especially if you are a school. Now, a pair of sister charter schools are in the running for a big national prize. We find Paula Tutman at the Detroit Achievement Academy over on Detroit's northwest side for this story.
So this is really interesting because the purpose of this prize is really to celebrate and reward interesting, innovative, and successful education. And it doesn't matter if you're a private school or a charter school or a public school or an organization. 2 charter schools, Detroit Achievement Academy and Detroit Prep, in the neighborhood of 800 students from K through 8th grade, getting an unconventional but successful education.
They would wander through the maze, completely lost, until at last they came face to face with the Minotaur.
The students say it's hard to put a finger on it, but the environment makes them feel free and safe and validated to learn.
When you feel like you belong, you just have that feeling like it's like different here. Like you can belong. You don't have to say or do something else just to be like everybody else. You can be yourself and you're accepted. I've been to multiple public schools, private schools, charter schools. I've changed schools a lot since I was little, but there's nothing really like this. Like my colleague said, they express ourselves through anything we do, and they don't judge us for what we do. They accept us.
The charter school group applied for the Yaz Prize, a prestigious national award that comes with serious money behind the accolades. $1 million is the first prize.
We have always felt so marginalized because we have always said like teaching kids character and like guiding them along that path is as important as academic skills.
And of all of the schools and learning institutions in the entire nation, this sister school pair is one of 33 semifinalists for that big education award.
If we win this award, we are validated for our really bold ways that we've been reimagining teaching and learning in the city of Detroit for 11 years now.
So what's the secret sauce? When you look at achievement scores in 11 years, they are achieving higher than the county averages in core studies like math, science, English, and social studies, sometimes by double digits. But it takes more than that to win the Yaz.
They're innovative because they're willing to turn on a dime if they have to. Because if math isn't working for these 5 kids, you don't just go, oh, well, that's our math program. You turn it around and create something that will work for them, even if it's different than what you have in the rest of the school.
But wait, there's more. There's a really exciting component to this, and this is where the community can get involved because the entire public, whether or not you live in Detroit, have a kid in the school or whatever, there's something called the Parents' Choice Award, and you actually go on and you can vote multiple days for the next 5 weeks. The top winner for that gets an additional $100,000, whether they win any of the big prizes or not. So we're going to put a link on all of our social media platforms, and of course, click on Detroit.com so you can vote, 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 so this school can get at least $100,000, but Karen, possibly $1 million.
I was going to say, can you imagine $1 million, all that great
Right?
stuff? Yeah, love it. All right, we're wishing them luck and lots of people voting. All right, thanks, Paula.